Welcome to the Empower Podcast, where wellness meets real life and empowerment becomes your way of being. I'm your host, Sam. On today's episode, I'm sitting down with Mike Feldstein, the founder of Jaspr. Mike's journey started in disaster restoration, working on homes damaged by wildfires, floods, and mold. And what he saw over and over again was just how harmful the air inside our homes can be and how few solutions actually protected people the way they needed. That experience led him to create Jaspr, a company that's reimagining air purification with commercial-grade performance and a design that fits seamlessly into your home. In this conversation, Mike and I unpack so much: the hidden ways air quality impacts our daily lives, from energy, sleep, to longevity. We'll talk about the misconceptions around indoor air, the science behind effective purification, and the future of creating healthier environments for our families. Let's welcome Mike Feldstein to the show. Mike, welcome to the Empower Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I love the comfy vibes that you're giving. You're like crisscross applesauce. I feel like I should join you. Should we take my boots off?
You should.
Ian, can you do the honors of taking my boots off for me? Because I honestly can't get these off. There's one.
Oh, nice.
It feels so much better. Thank you. Oh, this is so comfortable.
There you go.
I love it. This is how I naturally want to sit.
You should sit that way then.
Yeah. And I just feel like we were talking about earlier, it's like when you're comfortable, like you can just like think better and it's just more relaxing. Okay. Well, I just want to say I've been looking forward to this conversation so much. I feel like the past 5 years, I've become more and more in tune with myself. When it comes to air quality, I've really noticed like I'm more so about like mold. Like I'm very sensitive with mold. I can like walk in a room and feel if there's mold in there or not, or like a house specifically, hotels. Like I want to talk everything when it comes to air quality, mold. But my first question to you is, what are some things about air quality we all should know? And like when it comes to what's in the air that could be affecting us?
We talk about breathing more than air itself.
Okay.
So if you look at like Google search traffic over the past 10 years, like breath work is more Googled than air quality stuff. So when it comes to food, we talk about diet, nutrition. What do we eat is what we focus on as opposed to how we eat it. We think about filtering our water more than how we drink it. But air is this weird one that we think more about breath and breathing, and we don't even talk about what it is that we're breathing. Like seeing a bunch of people do holotropic, intense breath work in a moldy apartment is pretty wild. They're paying no attention. Here they are trying to do their practice and get more. No wonder everyone's like sick and exhausted. Right. So just people pay no attention to air. And I think that is because it's the first thing we do when we're born. It's the last thing we do when we die. We breathe 17,000 times a day. So it's so present in our lives that we pay no attention to it. And what's cool is once you kind of turn up the air awareness, all your environmental awarenesses start kicking up. You start noticing fragrances more and smells more, unfiltered water. You can detect plastics more. You just kind of become more environmentally tuned in, which comes with its downsides because it's not always blissful when you pay attention to all the things and how they make you feel. But I'd rather be sensitive and paying attention than ignorantly, slowly making myself sick.
I completely agree with you. And I feel like I've kind of come that way over the years, just being more in tune with everything when it comes to like fragrances, all of that. That's such a good point that you make. It's like you can do all this breath work because like that's a big part of my life is breath work. But it's like you do all that meditation and everything to help center you and get you to a good place. But it's like if you're not breathing in the right quality.
What are you breathing?
So talk to us. Like,
what are you breathing?
What are we breathing in? And like, what are the symptoms of not good air quality?
All right. So first and foremost, indoor air is typically about 5 to 10 times dirtier than outdoor air because nature is the world's air purifier. Trees, wind, sun, all of it. Nature. And when we build an airtight home and leave nature out of the picture, we've left nature's air filter out of our homes. And another way to think about it is flowing water is typically very clean, but when it gets still and stagnant like a pond, that's when it gets algae and bacteria and would make you really sick to drink or swim in. So outside, windy, rivers, airflow, our homes are like these stagnant ponds that don't breathe. They just trap and suffocate everything inside. So the big problem is your home isn't breathing or your building isn't breathing. So how could the human living inside the home that can't breathe? And that's really where the problem stems from. Now, what are we breathing? Yeah, we got mold. We got VOCs from all the chemicals in the furniture. We got dust indoors, which dust is not one thing. It's a collection of things. You know, dead skin cells and hair cells and insect parts, pollution, pet dander, all the stuff. If you take a sample of air, which you can do, you can get a little air sampler, and then you can actually put air under a microscope, and you will see all these particles on a little petri dish.
Interesting.
So when you start looking at air under a microscope, it really changes your relationship to air and makes what's now invisible very visible. And then you really start to feel the difference.
That's crazy. I feel like so many of us could be living in maybe not the greatest air quality conditions and just not realize it.
If you are indoors, I've tested like 2,000 homes probably in the last 15 years. And unless you're living like Costa Rica or in the rainforest somewhere, indoor air, if you live in like a tight home with a furnace and a modern home or apartment, the air is bad. It's like tap water. There's really no good tap water. That's why when people go and test their tap water, there's really no point. Just get the water filter because your tap water is going to be bad. Air is pretty much the same. We don't go into someone's home. Everyone's home has mold. Everyone has dust. Everyone has VOCs. And it's really sad. You know, I was the guy I was doing disaster cleanups, floods, fires, hurricanes, things like that, remediating homes after natural disasters and testing air because that was a big part of it. And I've never gone into a home before that had really clean indoor air. It's just not the state of air, especially with everything in your home. You cook in your home. You have cleaning products. You have sprays. You have carpets. You have bedding. All these chemicals, fragrances, smells, candles, all of it. And if you're not using it, your neighbors still are. So what they're doing enters your home. So it's really not a matter of like, do you have clean air? It's how dirty and what are you going to do about it?
Goodness, I feel like I have just a wave of anxiety you sharing all of that because I'm like, I need to go through everything when it comes to my home and be like, all right, furniture, clothes, like I try to live a very non-toxic lifestyle, especially when it comes to like the dishes I use, the pots, pans. I've never honestly thought about furniture.
So furniture all has fire retardants on it, even some babies' pajamas.
I've seen that because I've seen warnings. And I'm like, okay, that's alarming.
Yeah, so weird codes, weird bylaws. A lot of this started in the 70s when there was like the energy crisis. And they're like, what can we do? Well, what they did is they changed codes to make homes very tight. So they're like, in order to save money on your heating and cooling bill and use less power, let's seal these homes really, really, really tight so nothing can get out because that way you can keep the warm in the winter and the cool air in the summer. And saving a couple dollars a day on energy had a huge cost that no one was really paying attention to. That was what about the humans that are living inside the home that now are breathing very contaminated air?
That's very alarming. Okay, really quick, I want to talk about the house itself because I'm going through trying to find a new house, like that whole process right now. And my last house, like the current house I live at, there's no crawl space. So it's just, what do you call that?
Slab on grade.
Slab. Thank you. My previous house had a crawl space and without a doubt, like knew it had mold because I felt like our entire family was just on and off allergies, like sick a lot. When I moved out of that house, it was like all those symptoms went away. And I was like, well, there you go. I'm looking right now and I'm like, okay, I think I want a slab again. Does that have anything to do when it comes to like air quality and like mold, crawl space versus slab? Do you know?
Growing up in Canada, like I'm in Austin, Texas now, there's no basements here.
Yeah.
In Canada, everybody had a basement.
Everyone.
So basements that's where the leaks happen. That's where the mold happens. Like it's underground. It's the afterthought of the home. It's typically the least healthy environment in a home. Here, we have the attics, which often aren't much better, but you're way better having the issues above you where it's venting out as opposed to the crawl space below. So yeah, if you have the choice not to have an underground moldy bunker, it's a good idea.
And then what about like newer built homes versus older homes?
Another good question. So when I was testing air, almost half of all the work we did was in people who just moved into brand new homes and got sick.
How is that the case?
Because the home, often it's really tight and it hasn't off-gassed yet. So all of the paint, the flooring, the adhesives, the VOCs, all of these things were manufactured in a factory recently and they don't get enough time to off-gas. So they off-gas in your home. So if someone has the opportunity when they're buying a new home or moving into a home that wasn't lived in before, if you can, going in there and opening all the doors and windows, just let that home breathe as much as possible, especially before you start bringing in all your furniture, your carpets, your clothing, because otherwise it's going to all absorb into your stuff. And then it creates a really bad cycle. The other thing is home inspections. People get a home inspector to come out, $500, $600, $700, $800. I became a certified home inspector just to see what the training was like.
Interesting. And how was it?
It was a 4-day online course.
Stop.
Yeah. So think about it. The most expensive thing that people buy in their life is their home.
Right.
And then some kid at his mom's house could take a 4-day online course and be a home inspector who's coming out to check everything. And if you look closely, typically the contracts that they would give us basically say we're not looking at anything environmental. So typically the home inspection is to look for something that's going to hit you in the wallet. How old is the water heater? How old is the roof? Do the plugs work? Like these little things. Sometimes they're big things, but is there any hidden expenses? Is the floor slanted a little bit? So you can kind of negotiate and figure out what's my budget going to be.
I legit just had one done 3 days ago.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
So I wish we had this conversation before because I'm like, did he check all the environmental things?
Almost never.
Yeah.
The good news is with enough education, I think if there's enough of a demand, some home inspectors are starting to do the environmental stuff. We don't need a whole new industry of mold testers to come out at all. Let's use the existing furnace and air conditioning guys, the HVAC guys. They should be the air guys. And the home inspectors should just also be trained in mold and environmental testing and check for water. They're already there. Might as well take a couple samples. Okay. So, you buy a home and you're looking out for all these big cost issues, but no part of that process is like, is this home going to make me and my family sick? You're not inspecting the home to see if this is like a healthy home for your family. That's just societally not how we do it. And it's kind of a missed opportunity.
That's super unfortunate.
Also, if you ever go to buy a home again, if you smell air fresheners in the inspection, abandon ship and tell them you need to redo the inspection a few days later.
Because that could be masking something?
It's almost always masking mold.
So this house we haven't closed on it or anything, but the inspection was done. It's a new build. So it just smells like a new.
Yeah, the two things. So fragrances are a big problem because first of all, there's no that lemon fragrance, there's no lemons in there.
Right.
It's just chemicals.
Absolutely.
And what they are designed to do is hijack your ability to smell. So it's not covering things up. It removes your ability to smell anything else. So now you can't detect the mold or you can't detect whatever it is, the wet dog or whatever environmental issues there were with air fresheners and scents. You just can't smell anything else. It completely hijacks your ability to smell. Not good for you. With the new homes, so a lot of them are too tight, but some of them do have good ventilation systems. It depends on the state. Different states are now adding more codes. There's something called an ERV or an HRV, which basically becomes this fresh air intake system. So ideally, your home is built tight, but it has a system that lets it breathe. And in the new homes, often, especially in like a master plan community or a subdivision, these are like developers and architects where they're not sitting around and saying, how do we make the healthiest homes ever? They're saying, how many, how cheap, how fast? How pretty, curb appeal, nice bathroom, nice master bath and kitchen, walk-in closet, check, check, check. Not longevity. So they're kind of not optimizing for the right things. The reason I like podcasts is because you can get the word out very effectively. It's like a top-down and bottom-up approach. You want people to advocate for themselves and not buy homes that are poorly made, but also inspire builders and architects and developers to build better homes. When real estate prices have crashed since they're like COVID peaks,
sure.
Nashville, Austin, we all had our crazy surge and now it's kind of leveled off. The healthy home builders were slammed the whole time. There's still such an unmet demand for building healthier homes with better materials that breathe. So if anyone's a builder or your husband's a builder, your friend's a builder, looking into building biology and healthy home construction is such an amazing niche that's going to give you such an advantage over just a generic home builder. People are starting to wake up to the fact that your home is your primary environment and the place where you sleep and you rest and you recover. And people want better built homes. And it doesn't even cost much more money to build a better home. It just takes being a little bit thoughtful.
So business opportunity for anybody listening that could help change people's lives. And
that's what business is supposed to do.
Yeah. So many of us are walking around sick or maybe dealing with like future chronic illness because of this. Today's episode is brought to you by Dream Recovery, the ultimate brand for optimizing your rest and recovery. As someone who is about creating a healthy balance in all areas of their health, I know how much good sleep transforms your performance in your everyday life, and Dream Recovery takes it to the next level. Dream Recovery's innovative products are designed to help you wake up feeling like your best self, whether it's their Dream Strips, which I personally use every night, that help you breathe better and sleep deeper, or their Dream Tape Plus, infused with anti-aging skincare to promote nasal breathing and glowing skin. This brand is all about helping you feel refreshed, restored, and ready to conquer the day. I personally thought mouth tape was just a trend, but decided to try it out anyways, and I kid you not, you guys, after a few nights of using it, I noticed my sleep improved and my energy increased. I really could see the difference on my Garmin watch and saw my REM and deep sleep cycles lengthen, which was wild to me. Bonus, if your partner snores, slap some mouth tape on them because Ian even stopped snoring. I love that Dream Recovery's mission is rooted in the idea of awakening our full potential, because when we sleep better, we do better. So whether you're an athlete, a busy parent, or just someone trying to prioritize wellness, Dream Recovery has the tools you need to level up your recovery game. Visit dreamrecovery.io and use the code SAM15 at checkout. Okay, parents, so I used to think that gummy vitamins were helping until I looked at the label and they're loaded with sugar and missing all the nutrients our kids actually need. And that's why I'm so obsessed with Beam Kids All-in-One Super Powder. And I love it even more because it was created by my friend, Olympic gymnast Shawn Johnson. She's a mom too, and she totally gets it. She wanted something that actually helps kids thrive, boosting immunity, focus, and digestion without all the junk. It's just 1 scoop a day with over 40 essential ingredients, greens, probiotics, vitamins, prebiotics, all the good stuff. And it comes in flavors kids actually love, like chocolate milk and chocolate chip cookie. And my kids think it's a treat, but I know it's packed with real nutrients. And since using it months ago, I feel like they've been getting sick less often, knock on wood, and staying so much more focused. Making it super simple, just 1 scoop and 8 ounces of milk, stir or shake, and done. And Beam is offering up to 35% off Beam Kids when you go to shopbeam.com/CMC and use code CMC at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/CMC and use code CMC for up to 35% off. Because keeping your kids healthy through the holidays should not feel impossible. And thanks to Shawn and Beam, it finally doesn't.
I'll just level set some basic terms. PM 2.5, that's what Jaspr says on the top of the screen. Yeah. That number there, that is telling you particulates that are 2.5 microns in size. These are the little ones that are small enough to get in your lungs and bloodstream and do damage, but they're too big to get out. So really tiny, ultrafine particles, they come in, but we also can exhale them back out. And with PM 2.5, they get in and they get stuck in us. So that's why we really want to filter them out before they get in our bodies. Mm-hmm. And when the air is polluted, your airways get more inflamed. Now you're actually getting less oxygen in your body. So when you're sleeping, this is where the most life-changing thing anyone can do is if you put an air scrubber in your bedroom, turn it on a high speed, and turn your bedroom into a clean air sanctuary. It is wild how much that improves your sleep, because your body, otherwise, you're breathing in mold, allergens, pollen, dust, dander, chemicals, VOCs, everything. And when you can not be breathing that stuff in, your body goes from playing defense all night long, like trying to deal with these particulates, to having pure air. And when you turn your bedroom into a clean air sanctuary, your body could really heal itself. Mm-hmm. So your allergy symptoms go away, you sleep more, better energy, better focus. So what are
some of the symptoms like that people are just living with every day that could be like, hey, maybe we need to question air quality?
The allergy stuff.
Yeah.
So all the stuff that you think is just like pollen, dry eyes, itchy eyes, sleep. It could be inflammation. It could be a dry scalp. It could be a cough.
Brain fog,
big time.
That was me.
Waking up with phlegm, waking up and needing to blow your nose, being congested. Just all the like chronic, I don't feel so good type of things that people get used to. And often you forget how unwell you feel until you start feeling great.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, I didn't even know feeling this good was an option.
You're just such a wealth of knowledge. I'm so interested with your story because like I've heard you on other podcasts and like your social media, like what you have built is truly amazing. But I want our listeners to know what you were doing before Jaspr. Like how did this passion ignite into like what you've built?
So yeah, I was like a disaster chaser. So wherever was the most contaminated, biggest catastrophe in US or Canada, I would go there. So Hurricane Harvey in Houston, or fires in California, or pretty much floods, fires, hurricanes, things like that. So we'd go and see buildings in towns at their worst, no power, no water, totally evacuated, and we'd have to go in there and take homes that nobody can live in and get them back into safe, clean, habitable environments for people to reoccupy.
Which is, I feel like it's hard to do.
It's simple to do. You just have to care. And I'm so glad, because it prepared me in a way that a physical product and manufacturing and like running a business like Jaspr is really simple compared to going into like hurricane zones with no water and power and figuring out how to rebuild homes. But getting to see how sick people were after fires and after floods and how much mold there was just a clear aha moment for me of like, whoa. And then I had all my air testing equipment. So when I'd come back home after the disaster, I'd start testing my air and other people's air, and it was always bad. So originally I was only remediating homes after like big disasters. And then I realized like the air in a home after we finished cleaning it after disaster with the air scrubbers running was actually better than like normal people's homes. And when I started to test more homes, and then when people were like not sleeping, or my grandparents had like sleep issues, I just started to be like giving people air scrubbers, and they were having profound results. I'm like, whoa.
And when you say air scrubbers, that's just like an air purifier.
So I was actually giving them like my commercial construction grade air scrubbers.
Okay.
So air purifiers, those cute little plastic things that you get at Best Buy, Walmart, Amazon, Home Depot, $99, maybe $3.99, very small, plasticky, cheap. Those are air purifiers. Air scrubbers traditionally were things that would you use on the job site, mold remediation, construction, dust cleanup, things like that. The vision for Jaspr was to create the world's first air scrubber designed for people's homes. So it had to be pretty and have no EMF and look good and have good support, because I originally brought home a scrubber after a big fire, and people would come into my home and be like, whoa, the air feels different in here. But it was loud, it was ugly, and it was not wife approved. She was like, no way.
She's like, please design something that doesn't look like that.
So I'm like, how do I get something that the mold man wants in his home, that his wife, who's very aesthetic, would also approve of, and that the child of that was Jaspr?
That's so cool. I love that like it was built with such passion too. Were there any like memories or stories, like testimonials that you can recall that stand out to you when it comes? Can you share something?
I can. And also, I actually was kind of getting like, I was burnt out after all those natural disasters and like riddled in heavy metals.
That's a lot.
It was a lot. You'd go away, leave your family for 6 months. Luckily, this was before I had kids. So,
but like the emotional toll too.
It was like, I never went to war, but it feels like the closest thing in my civilian life to something like that was like going into these disaster zones. And I wasn't paying attention at the time, but the stress, the schedule, the pressure, dealing with people who lost everything, and then breathing in all that stuff for months took like a significant toll. So I took like 3 years off between 2017 and 2020. That's when I was developing Jaspr in the background and just like traveling the world. I went to like 30 countries and got out there. I'm like, I need to explore. I need to make better friends before I like become an adult and like have kids and get married. I just need to like rest and explore the world for a few years. So that's what I was doing while Jaspr was kind of getting cultivated. And at one point, I'm like, honestly, I don't think I want to even like get back into business. So, but I'm like, I'm going to see this through because I want this product for me and my friends and my family. So I'm like, let's just at least make 100, fill the garage. And whenever there's like a fire situation or someone's having a baby, we'll just give them a Jaspr. And then COVID happened and it pulled the business right out of me because the need was so big.
Oh my gosh.
But I was really designing it for myself and my family. So I got to stay like, if I was trying to do like focus groups and see what people wanted, I would have totally lost my way. But I was just creating something that was like scrubber grade, but pretty, and just for my family. And then it turns out a lot of people want the same thing that we wanted, but only through that taste. Like I love how Rick Rubin talks a lot about like, just make art for yourself. Don't make art for the people. Make it for yourself. That way you can trust your own taste to make good decisions. So Jaspr was all about that. It was just like for my family, my friends, my grandparents, and then, turns out people want it and it's doing a lot of things. Testimonials, Yes, I do.
You know, like for me, I'm such a review type of a girl, like anything I buy, even if it's like an Amazon sweater, but like I want to see like how it impacts people's lives. So I love hearing these stories.
Well, I'll tell you, when we launched, I was living in Canada at the time, and they mandated during early COVID times, 2020, that every dentist needed an air purifier legally to get back to work in every room. They are one of the only provinces and states that did this, which is dentists should have them anyway. And I just like put up a website really quickly that day. We were planning to launch summer 2020. COVID happened first. And whoa, we had 50 in my garage, and we like pre-sold maybe 1,000 or so in the first week because every dentist needed them ASAP. And the cool thing was,
so it wasn't for like the viral component of COVID. It
was just legally they needed it to get back to business. It was like on their checklist, like we need masks, we need gloves, we need sanitizers, we need these big plastic walls. They had their like checklist Purifier. From their dental association. Purifier was one of them. Cool thing is the amount of time between patients was based on how much air the purifier would move. So if they bought a Dyson, they would be which I'm not picking on Dyson. It's a fine machine, but it's a pretty machine. It's a high-end machine. But they would be 45 minutes between patients if they had a Dyson. And with a Jaspr, it would be like 8 minutes between patients. So for a dentist, it would pay for itself. Instead of, they could only see like 2-3 patients in a day. If they bought a little air purifier, by having Jaspr, a scrubber, they could see 7 patients in a day. So it paid for itself in like 24 hours. Cool, lucky situation to launch into. But it sucked selling to dentists. You know, they were just doing it for the marketing, for the optics, for the checklist, for the business. So I just felt like I was just like on a checklist. You know, they liked that it was pretty. They liked that it made patients feel safe, but it was all about the business goal. By the way, no e-commerce. The only way you could buy a Jaspr for the first 2 years was to call me, and we'd chat on the phone for like half an hour, and then I would send you an invoice and ship you one.
Oh, wow.
So I got to really connect to the early customers. But then the hygienist and the dentist, they would rave about it to the patients to get them to come back in. And like the air in our office is cleaner than your home. And then, you know, mom's there with her kid getting the teeth clean. And they're like, whoa, what is that thing? You know, they're being taught about it. Their kid has asthma. They're like, can I get one of these for my house? Dentist is like, I don't know, call Jaspr. They would call me. So I started to get calls from families and moms and stuff who wanted to try Jaspr in their homes. We were called Jaspr Medical at the time. We were selling to dentists and doctors. Mom started to buy them, and then it's like, you won't believe this. My kid was having 4 or 5 asthma attacks a week. Now they're having like 0 to 1.
Oh my gosh.
We're like, whoa. My kid has horrible seasonal allergies, and they're not. They're like, I don't know if this makes any sense, but my kid has ADHD, and they usually can't focus. And the teachers are like, they're focusing all of a sudden. So it was just sort of, you know, there was no like business plan. We were just sort of letting the flow of life dictate what happens next. And then they would tell their friends. So 2 years later, we completely stopped selling to businesses. I'm like, my heart sings when I get something like, I'm sleeping through the night. My energy is great. My allergies are gone. My asthma attack. I'm like, can it really be as easy as scrubbing your air? So that's why we went all in 3 years ago. I moved to Austin. We stopped selling to doctors and dentists. E-commerce made it easy, and just started telling everybody everything that we're possibly learning. So we just like study air and pay attention and share what we learn. And it's been a really interesting journey of Jaspr. Now we're just like totally focused on, you know, babies and sleep and mold and allergies.
Well, which I'm a mom, so I have 2 boys, 5 and 3, and like that is huge for me. It started with food. Like I want to make sure they're eating the right food, and then like environmental now, like making sure that they're in the safest space for them to help like optimal health.
I think it's all, to me, air is this foundational piece, but it's all about environment. So I think design is actually a health thing. You know, if we were in the studio right now, imagine that the walls were like black and pink with bright lights in our face. Like we would be so uncalm. It would be horrible. Just the colors of the walls would dramatically change our state and the energy of the room.
Absolutely.
Like that's why people like design and aesthetic, because the room makes you feel a certain way. You know, you're getting that information through your eyes. If it was loud, if the vibrations were high, if it really smelled bad, anything that like overwhelms your senses. If you want to be fit, hang out with more fit people. You know, put a gym in your home. If you want to sleep good, like I have no willpower, but what I'm really good at doing is designing environments that will make the goal that I want to have really easy. So air, comfortable bed, good pillow. Like the fact that people spend $1 million on a home and then $1,000 on a bed is wild to me.
I know. I've really invested in my bed, and it's like changed just my performance in daily life.
It will.
It's like a better. I'm like totally with you. I'm totally with you on that. If there is one thing I am asked about all the time, it's my cookware. And it's funny because you know that moment when the holidays sneak up on you and suddenly you're hosting dinner, you're baking cookies for the class party and trying not to burn everything in the kitchen all at once? Yeah, that's me right now. But honestly, I've learned that good cookware makes all the difference. And I started using Caraway a while ago, and it has completely changed how I cook, especially during the holidays. Their pots and pans are non-toxic and ceramic coated, so I'm not stressing about weird chemicals or microplastics sneaking into our food. And the cleanup, a dream. Everything just wipes right off, which is a lifesaver when you're juggling a house full of hungry people. And plus, can we talk about how beautiful they are? I swear, I leave them out on my stove just because they make my kitchen look so put together. If you've got apple pies, cozy soups, or a big holiday meal coming up, trust me, Caraway makes it easier and healthier. And Caraway's cookware set is a favorite for a reason. It can save you up to $198 versus buying the items individually. Plus, if you visit carawayhome.com/samecfit, you can take an additional 10% off your next purchase. And this deal is exclusive just for you guys, my listeners. So visit carawayhome.com/samecfit or use code samecfit at checkout. Caraway, it's non-toxic cookware made modern. You guys know I love my self-care, and I've been leaning so much on Calm. It's the #1 app for sleep and meditation. I've come on here and talked about it before. It's honestly been a sanity saver, and when my stress starts creeping in, I open Calm and do a 5-minute guided meditation, one of my favorites. It helps me reset before I get a little frustrated or maybe completely overwhelmed. And at night, those sleep stories, game changer. I'm actually falling asleep faster and waking up less anxious. The best part is Calm puts all the tools you need right in your pocket, from guided meditations, breathing exercises, even talks from experts about managing stress in relationships. It's like having a little therapist meets best friend combo right on your phone. Calm your mind, change your life. Calm has an exclusive offer just for listeners of our show. Get 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/samecfit. Go to calm.com/samecfit for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. Calm.com/samecfit and tell Calm you heard about them from me. Okay, so just truth be told though, like I didn't start using purifiers until like a few years ago. I always questioned them.
Now you're scrubbing.
And now I'm scrubbing. I love it. But I'm like, for the listeners that maybe don't have it in their homes that are like, is it worth it? Like, can you share some just like data with us?
Yeah.
What that looks like, no purifier versus a purifier.
So first, you asked for a story. I'll share a story from my sister.
Okay.
Her husband, John. And we get this story all the time, like all the time. So they're in their late 30s and he started to snore a few years ago. More and more and more. She tried earplugs. She tried everything, putting on music, going to bed before him. Nothing worked. So what worked was going into the other room. You're now sleep divorced.
Right.
That
not
sucks.
Good.
Sleep divorce, no bueno.
Nope.
Very, very common. It's not exactly something you put on your bio, but it's very common. That is like the first crack that can really lead to be a canyon over times. And just something as simple as snoring was the thing that started that process. And imagine the person you love is the thing that makes you not sleep. That's hard to kind of process and take in. So he was snoring 2.5 hours a night because they tracked it. They had a Jaspr. I'm like, I didn't realize they were using it on smart mode. I'm like, you guys got to turn it up to fan speed 3. That's where the life-changing shit happens. That's when the air is 20, 30, 40 times cleaner. Put it on fan speed 3, instantly stop snoring. So a month, it's all good. They go to San Antonio for a weekend. They didn't bring their Jaspr. Oops. Snoring. Comes back. Jaspr on. No more snoring. So he's been tracking his sleep with a snore tracking app, trying all different things. With no Jaspr, he's snoring about 2.5 hours a night. With Jaspr, it's about 9 minutes.
That's insane.
So the story is, here is a couple who was sleep divorced, and now they're back together again.
Yeah, so it's so much more than just like clean air. It can affect so many different parts of your life.
It can.
Yeah.
And between the white noise and the clean air. So like that is a profound one. Another guy, it's at the top of our Instagram because I love the story. He was going like,
I saw
like
that
100 times a day. That was just a friend from the local coffee shop here's dad. For 20 years, yeah. Literally, they're like, do you ever do like testimonial videos? I'm like, we could. And like, I just pulled out the phone and talked to them.
That's so cool.
And so he was clearing his throat for 20 years. The amount of doctors, testing, meds, everything. And they had one Jaspr in their home and he just instantly stopped clearing his throat. So it's like, that was basically an allergic reaction of some sort. Something in his home environment, in the air, was causing him to do that. So it's not about the air purifier being an addition. It's not like adding a supplement and you've added something into your life. It's like if you get a water filter, it's what you've removed from your life. It's an addition by subtraction situation. So if you start scrubbing your air, now you're not breathing mold, pollen, allergens, VOCs. Your airways are opening up. Your body can actually heal and rest and recover and get deeply parasympathetic. If you're breathing all that stuff in, so allergies specifically, you can handle mold, you can handle pollen, you can go down the road when there's construction, and our bodies are awesome at this. We can handle some acute situations. We don't need to live in bubble wrap. The problem is when it's a 24-hour beatdown, we have no time to heal and recover. So when I test the air in someone's bedroom, there's more pollen and mold in your bedroom than outside. So you think of allergies like an outside thing. Right. Allergies is a bedroom thing. There's more pollen in your bedroom than there is outside because your indoor air comes from outside. So all that pollen that's in the environment comes into your room, gets in your pillows, your blankets, your wall, your carpets, your clothes, and it stays there. It has no nature's air purifier, no sun, no wind, no rain, no trees to filter it out. So it's just stuck in your environment. You're just breathing it all night long.
So gross.
So you're breathing it in all day and all night. It's chronic 24-hour beatdown, and your body doesn't know what to do. Then you get all inflamed and you get sick and then you get tired and you get brain fog.
And like skin issues and like you said, like mental health, like ADHD, I feel like this affects so many parts of your life, or it could.
Just, it's hard to imagine it for ourselves. You know, we have such good advice for everybody, but we can't really see our own life, our own business, our own decisions objectively at all. So just imagine doing a study on some fish, and one fish tank is like pure filtered water, and then the other fish tank, there's some gas and there's some oil and maybe a little Roundup in there, and dump in some pollen and maybe some food coloring. Which fish is going to be healthier and live longer?
Right.
Like the one in the cleaner water. So you would just imagine that poor fish in that dirty, toxic water. It must be so hard on you. Meanwhile, 99% of us are just like that fish in dirty water. We're just living in toxic air, and we can't see it because we're in it.
But it's like, obviously there's some things that we can start, like you said, removing from our household or changing out to help with that air quality. So like obviously a purifier. What are some other little things that are, listen, yeah, first step. But like what are other things that we can do like today to help with the air quality?
You can deal with the symptom or you could deal with the source. In this case, it's both. So a few things like not wearing shoes indoors is like a easy number one.
That's a big one.
I'm in Texas. Everybody wears shoes inside. It's shocking. Like literally they'll come in your home and just walk on your carpet with their boots. Like, whoa.
It's like germs, like so many things they're bringing in.
You know, it's just, this is all about awareness. Whether it's that or you see someone on a beach doing spray sunscreen or putting that little Christmas tree in the Uber. Like, no, if people knew what this was doing to them, they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Just there's no awareness there. That's why this is fun. That's where the passion comes from. It's exciting to shine the light on something so obvious that people don't pay attention to. So no shoes inside, number one. If you're cooking inside, use the range hood, use the fan, use the vent, open your windows. When you have high heat and protein, it creates something called PAH, which is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Same chemical, very cancer causing.
Like cooking meat?
Yeah, with your organic grass-fed, grass-finished steak, with your fancy pan. Yeah.
Okay, my mind is blown right now. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Well, if your Jasper's on smart mode and you start cooking, you'll notice it goes red every single time.
Insane.
Because you're polluting your air heavily. So that's the same exact thing that we test for after wildfire smoke.
Okay.
It gets created from the high heat and the proteins.
Okay, so
that's a big one. You want to make sure that vent is running. You should not smell, nice cooking odors. But no, like you don't want to smell that in your home everywhere. And where does it go? It goes into your bed, into your carpets, into your couches, into your fibers, into your clothes. All the porous things, just absorb it all in. So making sure those vents are on, and then make sure the vent is going outside. So a lot of the time, the vent is just going into the cabinet above or into your attic. You want that vent going outside. If you're like boiling something, use the back burner, because the back burner, the fan or vent captures way more air from the back burner than the front. You'll notice with the front one, like most of it's not even being captured. And those things are like almost aesthetic. People don't even realize that like the purpose of the range hood is to get like gas. There's a reason you have a vent. It's to make sure all that smoke and gas and particulate is not in your home, but they're loud. So eventually, not anytime soon, but eventually, well, I hope someone beats me to it. Please, somebody, if you don't do it, I'll do it eventually. But there should be, your range hood should be an air scrubber. So the fact that you have to turn, like Jaspr has a sensor, it goes up and down. The fact that you have to turn on your range hood manually is crazy. You should just start cooking and then it turns up. And when you stop cooking, it turns off.
So can I tell you something? The reason why I'm looking at you in shock right now is because, so I've lived in the townhome that I live in for like 3 years, and the inspector did not catch this. And I've done nothing about it. My like vent hood, it doesn't do any, like you turn it on and it doesn't do anything. There's no vent. They didn't.
Most don't. It's just for show.
But like that's insane to me. Like why would you even put it there?
Code. Builder said you had to have one. It didn't have to work.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You know, there's
so
certain
yes,
things
somebody
in code.
needs to invent that.
You want that thing venting outside. Same thing in the bathroom. You want your bathroom fan, shower fan. Use it for 2 hours after you shower, because all that humidity and moisture that your towel picks up is just, it's evaporating in your home. So all that humidity is going to give you excess mold. So if you have a window in your bathroom, open your window. That's fine too. If not, bathroom fan for a couple hours, and then make sure that bathroom fan vents outside too, because otherwise it's going to go into your attic, and you'll notice very quickly you have a moldy attic. Because you're just dumping the humidity
all
up
going
there.
up there.
Yeah. So those are a couple easy ones. You know, be conscious of the cleaning products that you're using. Use some better, less toxic, less fragrant cleaning products. Filtering your water also contributes to clean air.
Bedding though, like bedding pillows, making sure you have good quality.
Yeah, just get good stuff. And I think like I have no willpower. That's why I just work on my environment. It's easier to work on something, not myself.
Right.
And then let my environment give me the result.
It helps you out. Yeah.
So just like, instead of like working on special habits, just like really optimize bedroom, but just like less chemicals in the home. You know, it's all addition by subtraction stuff.
So what makes Jaspr different than any other air purifier? So
Jaspr is an air scrubber, and what makes it fundamentally different, what's the difference between a scrubber and an air purifier, is basically the industrial nature, the size and the performance. So SUVs only came into the market in the 80s and the 90s. And now over 50% of vehicles sold in America are SUVs. Because there was like, we had pickup trucks and we had little cars and like big boxy vans. But they're like, wait, what about, and it came from taking trucks, military and pickup trucks, saying like, how do we take the concept of a truck and make it for a family? So that's the exact same thing I did with Jaspr. I took a scrubber, which was for flood, fires, mold, industrial, like a truck. And we made like the Yukon Denali for your home. So purifiers are like Honda Civics, fine little efficient thing to get yourself around town. Jaspr's designed to take the kids, take the stuff, be safe, comfortable seats, and look good while doing it. So one Jaspr is like 5 little air purifiers. So we made it bigger. We made it out of steel, no plastic. Everything about it is very like commercial grade. So we took something that would belong on like a job site and made it pretty and made it quiet. Which
I love that, because I am such a like aesthetics driven person. Like immediately I'm like, okay, that's pretty clean. Does it work well? So the fact that you guys have both is huge. Do you need one in every room of the house?
You don't need one, but I believe one in every bedroom is table stakes. And you know, $1,000 for an air purifier, expensive, but $3,000 for a whole home air filtration system, cheap.
Yeah.
It's just kind of how you think about it. You know, people spend 5, 6, 7, 10 grand on a whole home water filtration system that's just like one metal tube that goes in their garage. But because it's a whole home system, it seems like a reasonable price.
Right.
But a few $1,000s and then a couple dollars a day, clean 95% cleaner air for your whole family all the time. All of a sudden, it's not that expensive at all. But when you're thinking about it as a product, it's expensive. But clean air for your family, it's cheap.
My outlook when it comes to investing in your health might be different than others. But I'm like, you're either going to invest in doing the right things to stay in optimal health or help your health, or you're going to pay it in the long run when you're older and dealing with chronic illness and disease and hospital visits and other things like that. You know what I mean?
I have like a really skilled personal trainer here. It's like $200 an hour.
Dang.
But he's like, he's not saying just me, but it's like you're either going to pay for that stuff now or back surgery, hip replacement, and knee surgery later.
Totally agree with
him. So that's what you're saying makes me feel like.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could eat cheap food now and then deal with the consequences of a bad heart later.
Absolutely.
You're paying for it either way.
Yep.
I'd rather pay for it with dollars now and have a healthy, vibrant, energetic life as opposed to like it's very expensive to be cheap. And everybody knows that feeling. You buy the cheap thing and then it breaks and has no warranty, no support. And I tell people all the time, everybody asks me what water filter you should buy. And I'm like, honestly, they're mostly the same. You should buy from the company that will give you the best support because the product is half the battle. But if it's not backed by fantastic support, it doesn't matter when it has a problem. Everything that's good needs to be maintained. Like if you bought a rare car that doesn't have a place to go get it serviced, it's only good until it breaks once, and then it's just a dust collecting piece of junk. So I'm really big when I choose products. I want things that work good, look good, and have amazing service and support. So I'd say what's different about Jaspr is the fact that we have a lifetime warranty, and our warranty's so badass.
That's awesome too. A lot of brands can't say that. Like lifetime, that's huge.
And the way it works is awesome. So let's say your Jaspr breaks. Eventually it will. Things break. We ship you a brand new one the next day. You take the new one out of the box. You put the old one in the box. We also send you a prepaid shipping label. And then we send UPS to come to your front door or your apartment and pick it up and take it back. So no like pre-authorizing your credit card, telling you to go to FedEx, get a weird shaped box, like ruining your day because the brand made a product that broke. That's not cool. And we would have never stumbled on this level of service if not for COVID and the dentist. We'd get calls from the dentist freaking out that there's an issue with the Jaspr, and the hygienist would refuse to work. So they're like, if there's not a Jaspr in the room, I'm not working, because they knew how much that would impact their health as the hygiene for themselves. I'm like, we got you. So we would express courier them a Jaspr same day, not make them send the old one back. That would not be appropriate. So we'd send them a brand new one. They take it out, and then we'd get the old one back and refurbish it, fix it up, see what went wrong. So then when we started selling it to families, we just kept that same level of service and support. So we treat Jaspr like a need, not a want. So if your Jaspr isn't, this is not like a little, I'll ship it in, I'll wait 5 weeks. I'm like, no, you need to have clean air in your bedroom. The thing that you trusted us is having a problem. We'll send you a new one tomorrow. Set up your new one first, then we'll take back the old one. So I think that's a really, really big deal. Also, we don't have any sales or customer support departments. We only have clean air concierge, everybody who is skilled with mold and air quality. So if anybody here has personal questions about their own stuff, their mold, their allergies, their home, whatever, when they contact us, they'll either get a call or a voice note or very personalized educational.
I love that.
Whether they're a customer or not. So we're just like, Jaspr is an air education company that happened to also make the only scrubber designed for your home. But the education piece is first. Like if someone's like, I started cracking my windows or stopped wearing my shoes and I'm feeling great, or I moved homes into a better environment, we celebrate that just as much or more than a sale.
So for the past 6 months, I've been using MitoPure gummies from Timeline, and they've honestly been a game changer. They're the first ever longevity gummies powered by MitoPure, the only clinical proven form of urolithin A. So basically, they work deep down at the cellular level to boost your energy, support muscle strength, and help your body recover faster, which, let's be real, we could all use a little help with. And they fit so easily into my day too. I keep the jar right on my counter and grab one after my workout, sometimes a couple because they taste that good. They're vegan, gluten-free, non-GMO, and like I said, they taste amazing. I've noticed more steady energy throughout the day and quicker recovery after long runs. It's like my body finally got the memo to keep up with my life. So if you're feeling drained or maybe just stretched thin, try Mito Pure Gummies. And my friends at Timeline are offering 20% off just for my listeners. Head to timeline.com/CMCFit to get started. That's timeline.com/CMCFit. Your cells will thank you. I know I'm not the only one who basically lives in activewear, but guys, between school drop-offs, workouts, errands, and just life, it's pretty much my uniform. But finding pieces that actually feel premium without that I just spent $200 on leggings guilt, that's where Fabletics has totally won me over. And when I first signed up as a VIP, I got 80% off everything, which is absolutely insane. And after that, it's about $60 a month, but you can skip any time. And that monthly fee gives you a credit toward a full outfit or bundle up to $100. And I get the email at the start of each month, decide if I want to use it or skip it, and that's it. And honestly, the quality blew me away. The leggings don't roll down, the joggers actually keep their shape, and the jackets are so soft and warm without being bulky. I've worn mine everywhere, to workouts, coffee runs, and even on the plane last week. They feel like luxury just without the luxury price tag. Plus, I love that Fabletics is carbon neutral and uses recycled materials in half their fabrics. It's just nice to know I'm supporting a brand that actually cares. So if you're ready to treat yourself to gear that look good, feel good vibe and doesn't break the bank, go to fabletics.com/CMCFit and sign up as a VIP to get 80% off everything. That's fabletics.com/CMCFit for 80% off. Trust me, you'll get it once you try it. I also love too that the Jaspr, like you can see so many details. Like other purifiers, I feel like, or excuse me, you're called a scrubber. I get that.
Those are purifiers.
Yes, but you just do on and off, or different modes. Like there's so much more detail that you can see, which helps with like education, I guess too.
Education.
That's
I
huge.
want to talk about the school with you.
Let's go. Let's talk.
So we just bought a school here in Austin.
That's huge.
Yes.
What do you mean bought a school?
What do you think I mean?
Like, I don't know.
Dollars for land.
Dollars for land. Okay,
so
for the land.
Yeah, the
building.
land in the building. It's running until August. We have the land now.
Okay.
We're the landlords. We're getting everything totally dialed in for our launch next August. It's called Kindling Academy. And the idea is to make the healthiest school in America, and more so, the healthiest kids.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
So when my daughter's 5 and 3, two of them.
My kids are 5 and 3. Love that.
And then the new little guy's 3 months.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Aria, she's the 5-year-old. When she was 2.5, she started going to school or daycare and getting chronically sick immediately. Stuffy nose, itchy eyes, coughs. I'm like, and you like read online, you like talk to the doctor, like this is normal. Kids are supposed to be chronically ill. It takes years. They need to get every single infection.
Right. Immune system build up. It's good for them.
Yeah, my heart didn't believe it. Because before school, we were still traveling and we were in hotels. We weren't hiding. And she wasn't getting sick all the time. Well, I started to take a better look at the school's environment. First of all, Glade plugins, air fresheners everywhere, windows that don't open, not good water filtration. A lot of schools, especially for young kids, they have bathrooms attached to the classroom with no ventilation. Mm-hmm. So all them little poop particles are just being breathed all day long. Dirty diapers in the class, bacteria levels off the charts. They're sneezing, they're coughing, and they're trapped in a box. So our homes are already tight. Classrooms are even tighter. They don't even have windows that really open. So I got her into a new school and I gave them a Jaspr and she instantly stopped getting sick. And now with my younger daughter who's 3, she doesn't get sick there at all.
That's amazing.
So now, I don't even know, probably in Austin, around the country, we've probably given Jaspers to like 20 or 30 schools. Mm. So, when Aria stopped getting sick, I'm like, whoa. And then I found this study out of Finland where they put air purifiers they did a study across multiple schools, multiple classrooms. And in the classes with air purifiers, teachers and students were getting sick 30% less. So literally absent attendance, like the most black and white way to track it is like, how sick are people getting to where they can't come in? And absentee rates dropped by 30%. Mm. So the little school in our community went for sale. And it was for sure going to be knocked down and become like a building or a home or something or a plaza. We're like, no way, this school must remain. So yeah, it's launching, has Kindling Academy, the healthiest school in America. Website's already up and everything. So 2 Jaspers in every class, whole building, water filtration, really nice circadian rhythm lights, screened in porches. We're building some like tree houses and outdoor classrooms and porches so the kids can be outside a lot, non-toxic cleaning products. And we're working with a bunch of doctors and scientists to develop the studies. So they're going to be monitoring the absentee rates and the sick rates and all that, because we want to be able to show that we can get absentee rates down 50, 60% and have the healthiest kids that are performing great. Just have a really beautiful environment. Also, we got those are 20-person sauna and a cold plunge. So when the parents pick up or drop off their kids, they can hit the sauna or the cold plunge and connect with other parents.
So cool. I'm like, I wish this was in Nashville.
Well, I think we're going to do a really great job, and we're open sourcing everything we do, our profit and loss, the materials, the brands, all of it. So anyone else who wants to copy as much of it that resonates them, they can.
Oh, I love that so much. And like as a parent, like, thank you so much for doing this. And I cannot wait to keep up with this and see what those studies look like. I can only imagine what they're going to look like. I think it's going to be obviously very positive. But that is like the hard part about like sending your kid to schools, you know, that you're like, okay, I feel like a lot of them are the same, where they're sitting all day in an enclosed space, dirty air, not getting outside much, windows aren't open. Like we need to do better for our children.
Mm-hmm. Like I believe like when you think about the word environment, you picture like nature.
Right.
But if the average American spending 95% of their time indoors, your environment is actually your home.
Yeah.
And that's your primary environment where you're spending most of the time. So if you spend 1/3 of your life in your bedroom and then the other third in school or at work, depending on what you do, I think just dialing in your bedroom and like the classroom, or your bedroom and your workspace, this is the 80-20. This is the like less is more style approach. You know, filtered water, better food, and clean air where you spend most of the time. Maybe go for a walk. It's going to get you a lot of the way there. And I think that I want, every time a Jaspr is manufactured, I want it to go into the most impactful place possible. So, by the way, anyone out there, public schools are atrocious to deal with right now. But if your kid goes to a private school or you're a teacher or something, reach out to us. We donate Jaspers to classrooms all over the country.
Okay, well, my kids go to private. I'm going to reach out to you because I'm like thinking about them right now.
Done.
My 5-year-old just started kindergarten, and it's like a great school, but I'm like, my main concern is like the enclosed space, air quality, and everything.
Nothing is more exciting than, and also I get incredible reviews from the parents, especially entrepreneurial parents or not, but basically parents whose kids were sick so much that they were like missing out on work and travel, and it was really disturbing their life.
It affects the whole family.
And then the Jaspr went into the classroom, the kids stopped getting sick, and now they have much more time to work. Like, I think the cost of a sick child is immeasurable.
Absolutely.
They spread it around the classmates, then the parents, then you're traveling. Like, it's this huge effect. So if we can just get clean air in classrooms and show how much of a difference it makes. I'm all about prove it marketing. Like, that's why we don't really have like Google ads and Facebook ads and YouTube videos. It's like long form conversations where we can explain stuff, and then, you know, putting Jaspers into massage places, naturopathic offices, schools, healthy restaurants, the places where people like who are paying attention need it most. And then they do all the marketing for us.
Well, and that's when you know you have a good product and you've built a great brand, is when it's like the testimonials and the people.
Giving.
Yeah, like that's truly amazing. So I want to talk about travel because we all like to travel. I travel all the time, and I notice when I go to hotels, like immediately I just don't feel as well. I had heard a statistic that like the majority of hotels, I think it's like 80-something% of hotels have mold in them.
100%.
Yeah. It's 100%?
Every mold's inside, mold's outside, mold's everywhere.
It's there.
But with probably 80% have like really bad levels of mold.
That's probably what it was. And I feel that like I can walk into a are you sensitive when it comes to air quality? You're like, something's not right here. I'm the same way. And so when we travel, like we can't just take our huge Jaspr with us. Like, what would you suggest?
So I take my huge Jaspr with me.
Do you really?
I do.
Wait, please talk to me. How do you like ship it? Like, what do you do?
So I used to just bring it on the plane with me. Most airlines consider it a medical device, so it's free.
Oh, wow.
It's like golf clubs. It's a little annoying to bring.
Sure.
But I believe that you should not have to bring an air purifier with you. People are like, can you make me a small travel one? The answer is no. We can't make a smaller one. A smaller one would be an ineffective one. Jaspr is exactly the size it needs to be to get the job done.
And it's still a good size. It's not like humongous.
It's not huge.
No, it's a good size.
And it's like a condo. It's the footprint's not big. It's just at a nice height. I ship it to the hotel, wherever I'm going. I have my particle counter. So when I go into the room, I'm like, ugh. I test the air. I'm like, even worse than I thought. I film this. Then I turn on Jaspr, run it for 20 minutes, and I retest the air. Typically, it's about 20 times to 30 times cleaner. And then I take that video, and I usually send it to the general manager of the hotel. I go, just an FYI, the air, you got your beds, first of all, depends on how long I'm staying there. But sometimes like, I love when you get like that text. I was at the proper hotel in Santa Monica after the fire, like February.
Yeah.
And I get this text. So I have my video and I get the automated text. Like, if you need anything, I'm the general manager. And the staff was so good there. So I texted the GM or I emailed him like, just so you know, I don't know what you're doing, but your staff are amazing. Like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Thank you. I'll let them know, blah, blah, blah. And then when I left the Jaspr at the front desk for the general manager. And I emailed him the video of a before and after.
Stop.
Also, I posted on my Instagram too.
Was it pretty bad?
Horrible. It's always horrible.
What did its management say when they see that? They're like, this is concerning.
How much do Jaspers cost?
Mm-hmm.
How much for 260 of these?
Wow. I mean, that just
and then
says a lot.
When I go to the front desk, sometimes I leave it for the manager and I say, take this home and put this in your room. So it's like a gift for the manager. Or sometimes if I'm in a rush, I leave it in the room.
Mm.
And this has got like now the proper hotel. Fast forward a few months, they now have them in their wellness suites. So it's more, it's that giving, it works out conveniently for me because I'm able to leave them behind and give them. And as people get the awareness, the word spreads. So there's a hotel in Miami called the Carillon Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
We put 180 Jaspers in there and 28. So every room has one. Every massage room has one. And then we gave one to 30 or 40 of the staff to take home.
That's huge.
Because now the staff are having the benefits at home. They are the sales force.
Absolutely.
So instead of all the marketing, people go to the hotel. They're used to horrible, moldy rooms in Miami. They sleep there. They have their amazing experience. And then a good percentage of them are like, shit, I want that for my house. So the simple before and after particle counter is undeniable. And because hotels have such bad air from the chemicals, the cleaning products, it's like the classroom. It's all tight. Carpets everywhere.
Because something that I've always done too is like take a humidifier, like a little humidifier. I don't know if that's doing anything. What are your thoughts on humidifiers?
If it's dry, they're good. If it's already humid, then you're making it worse.
Okay.
But sometimes hotel rooms are very dry.
But that doesn't help cleaning the air.
The only solution for hotels is to continue to I think it's all about setting a new standard. I think, the proper hotel, we'll get them in all of them. Mm-hmm. And the one hotels, maybe start with the more wellness hotels.
Right.
And then my vision, I have two visions. Number one, when I book an Uber, I want there to be a little box for fragrance free. So I don't have the little Christmas tree in there.
That's a great idea.
And when I'm booking an Airbnb or looking on a hotel site, I would love to know which rooms have air filtration in them. Because I've been working to get a group of air testers and environmental consultants around the country to start a TripAdvisor for hotel air. So whenever we stay there, we check the air, we look at the chemicals, we test it, and then having an online directory. So if you're going to a city, it's Seed Oil Scout.
One of my favorite apps.
Imagine
I use it all the time.
For air quality in hotels.
Sign me up.
When you're checking, you're like, where do I get the good air?
Yeah.
And it's sad because you typically travel for work or for a family trip. And all it takes is one night to be sick and have your whole trip ruined. That sucks. So I think setting a standard higher puts pressure on the others where it's a non-negotiable. I don't think you should be traveling with your own air purifier. I don't think you should have to travel with your own bed to a hotel or sheets. I think for hotels, they should give you a good bed, good water, dark room, quiet, cool, and clean air. That should be the standard of a good hotel. And I think as a few of them adopt that, it's going to raise the bar and everyone's going to catch up. 25 years ago, there was no filtered water. It was even 10 years ago, you'd get tap water at restaurants. Then we went to bottled water, and now the plastic is bad. So our awareness is improving. Air awareness is improving. That's why I do this.
Well, this awareness is creating a movement, which I really think is going to change lives. And just in this conversation, I'm
going to the airport right from here to go to a naturopathic conference in Scottsdale.
Oh, cool.
Where there's 400 entrepreneurial-minded functional medicine doctors.
I love that.
And it's wild. The intake, so you're sick, you go to a functional medicine doc, and they give you this little sheet with 300 questions. They want to know about your grandma and your grandpa, maternal, your parents, itchy this and that, 100. They want to know about these crazy forms. You're no to almost everything. And they don't even ask you, what is the air? What are you breathing? What are you drinking? Sometimes they ask about food a little bit. All they want to do is send you for lab testing and give you supplements.
I know.
So I'm there to be not okay, guys. That should be one of the number one triage questions you ask. You should never be going to the allergists. You're chronically suffering from pollen allergies. You go to the allergist. Pollen. We know what pollen is. Air scrubbers, air filters, air purifiers, they're a machine that removes 99% of the pollen from a room. And instead of recommending you clean the air, they recommend you come in every week for allergy shots. Not okay. No. With people with allergies, they just overnight don't have allergies anymore because they just turn their home into a clean air sanctuary. So it's all about the awareness.
I'm going to get one for my mom too, because my mom has chronic allergies, and like her doctor is just like, you're just going to have to live with it or take this medicine.
Not true. Just stop breathing in the allergy stuff.
Right.
How about that?
I'm just like so passionate about talking about these types of things that can really change the world, because when I launched this podcast, my entire goal was to bring on influential leaders like yourself who are really changing the game in health and wellness to help people get to their most optimal state of health. End of story. So I just want to say thank you for coming on, like sharing all this information and education. I've learned so much. And I cannot wait to see what you guys continue to do and how you change the world.
So we got a deal for your folks.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
And also, the reason why I think the theme of empowerment is pretty fitting is because I think Jaspr and clean air is the laziest way to be healthy. So many things that make us healthier or feel better, they take work and time and willpower, going to the gym and eating the right thing and doing the habits and journaling and meditating and all the routines, taking the 50 supplements before bed.
All the things.
When it's air and water, it's laziest way to be healthy. It costs only money, no time, no energy, no focus. You just plug and purify. You start sleeping with cleaner air. You start waking up fresher, more energized, and those results compound tremendously. So like, as someone with no willpower, I have to focus on things that don't take willpower. And it's just the laziest way to be healthy. So for your audience, today is October 29th, and Black Friday is about 1 month from today. Last year at Black Friday, we had our biggest sale of all time, and we sold out 4 months. We back ordered 4 months. So people who were ordering in early November, December, we're getting them in February and March.
Wow. And
thank you for everybody who waited. And thank you, because I appreciate it.
Well, that says a lot about you guys and what you're doing.
Well, we're going to do it again. And it's going to be 3 or 4 months again. Yeah. The good news is what we're going to do for your community is for the next 2 weeks, we're going to make code EMPOWER, EMPWR, $400 off.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, but if you can wait a month till Black Friday, but then you'll be waiting 4 months. Right now, we're still in stock. So if you order it, it will ship tomorrow. You'll have it a couple days.
Huge.
Beat the Black Friday rush. The thought is come out, educate people, tell you everything I know, and then give people the best possible price to make whatever decision is right for you. So yeah, starting today, the 29th, for 2 weeks, code EMPOWER, EMPWR, will be $400 off. So instead of $11.99, it'll be $7.99.
That's awesome.
Then you have the lifetime warranty. Hope you guys learned something. If this resonates, check it out.
Well, thank you so much. And I'll put all those details in the show notes too, along with the website, the code EMPOWER. Where can people find you guys and more about what you're doing and where your products are?
Jaspr.co, 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 @JasprCo on Instagram. Okay. But the most important thing is if you want to check us out, just go to the website, JASPR.co, code EMPOWER, $400 off for the next 2 weeks. And feel free to share it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mike, for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. It really helps us grow and bring you more great content. See you guys next week.